You talking about the stadium?
I was talking about the Tommy Stallworth.
You got me at the stadium. I ain't gonna lie.
The stadium.
Yeah,
All right, we were at the stadium on 4th of July. I beat Sco, but that ain't shit because Sco made it to the league and I didn't. All right. I'm your host, Frank Dalena. Welcome to the Bring the Juice podcast. Today on the pod, we have NFL legend, business legend, Fresno State legend, just all over the legend, dealing and wheeling and dealing Damari Scott on the pod. Disco, say what's up to Bring the Juice Nation.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. And I just want to start off by saying thank you for coming on the pod. I know you're a busy man. Born in Michigan, somehow got to play football at Fresno State, bounced around the NFL, went undrafted from Cleveland to the Buffalo Bills to New York Giants. COVID hit, we'll get into that, and then now you wrote a book, you got ATM businesses, you got side gigs, you're working it, you're hustling. What's new? Nothing, because Disco's always been a grinder, and I love that. But let's start off with just growing up in Michigan. I mean, how'd you end up playing football at Fresno State? What was the journey like?
Well, it started off my freshman year in high school.
Yeah.
I played varsity, and then I had an opportunity to go to California to go visit my brother-in-law.
Right.
He had played at USC, and he was like married to my sister, so my sister went with him. So he was basically family. So I went out there, and I introduced to this coach named Coach Frog. He in LA. He worked at Stars, and I went to the NUC. I ended up getting MVP, wide receiver MVP at there. So I come back home. Coach Frog tells me, he called my mom and says, if he comes out here, he'll get a scholarship. And you know where I'm from. Not really many people had a scholarship. So I moved out there with him. Stayed out there. My long story short, Fresno ended up offering me.
Yeah.
Towards the end, Fresno was kind of like the last option though.
Hey man, we love the dogs.
No, I know we love the dogs, but you know what I'm saying? I got to keep it 100. It was like kind of the last option because of a grade issue. Like I never was like, oh, I want to go to Fresno State.
No,
like,
okay. I think I'm the only person that is.
Yeah, so I was like, but I was thankful that they accepted me because it was
right.
It came down to them or JUCO.
Yeah,
because they thought I wasn't gonna be eligible.
Did you get recruited by Pat Hill or
Tim McDonald recruited me?
Tim McDonald?
Not
Tim DeRuiter. Tim McDonald.
Tim McDonald. Well, he was on DeRuiter's staff. But
okay, at the time.
He was the DB coach.
Yeah.
And it was for DB.
Damn. You were originally gonna play DB at Fresno State?
I was gonna play DB.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Man. Then he left, and then Coach Antoine.
Yeah.
Basically took me on.
And then boom. Next thing you know, you're playing for the Dogs. You're at Fresno State.
I'm at the Dogs.
I
get there late because I had grade issues. So I had to spend the whole summer trying to make up grades.
You didn't gray shirt or blue shirt or anything like that?
I didn't gray shirt. I
played. I know that.
No, my first year, I played. I was on special teams though. We were loaded.
Because was that Devontae still there?
Devontae, Harp, Burris.
DC was QB.
DC. Yeah.
You came in and you got some dudes. But do you think having those guys like Devontae in the receiver room, Harp in the receiver room, DC's slinging the pill, like obviously coming in as a young man, as a freshman in college, like it's a big step from high school.
Yeah.
Like, but those dudes were already at their they were professional college players at that point almost.
Yeah. DC was for sure professional.
He operated different compared to like.
He didn't even go to school.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
He was married.
Yeah, he was.
He knew what was happening.
He was league before the league.
He was league before the league. Exactly. So your time at Fresno State escalated. I know you had to go through some situations because like I remember there was a year where you had a redshirt like late.
Yeah, I had the redshirt my senior year.
You had to redshirt your senior year, just some BS grade stuff and like
1 unit.
1 unit, because you had a good year before that, and you were in the opportunity where it's like, okay, I can declare, get drafted, go to the league, do whatever, and you ended up total curveball. I got a red shirt all of a sudden.
Red shirt.
What was that like finding that out? Just total mind shift or what?
I mean, it was like I'm mentally strong, honestly, bro. So
Yes, you are.
I feel like it was just another like bump in the road.
Right.
This year I'm gonna be in developmental.
Yeah.
I get a year off on my senior year, so I feel like I just was gonna come back better and stronger.
That takes a lot of maturity and a lot of experience in the game and a lot of grit to be able to do that. Because a lot of dudes, I mean, I've seen dudes, we know dudes who they just go in the tank. They're like, nah, like I'm cool. Like I'm gonna do something else or try to transfer or weasel their way around it. Or they might declare for the league when they ain't ready for it yet, something like that. And I think the way you handled it worked. And like, you know, obviously it worked out. Like we just before the pod, Disco is about to get his jersey in the new studio, which by the way, we're in the new studio today, first episode in the new studio. So shout out to everyone that helped make this together. It's gonna be on the gram.
Yeah, it's a new episode.
New episode. This is that. It's that hot shit. Get your piss hot, baby.
Yeah.
Get your piss hot, baby. I love it. And the energy's high in the studio. Like we're starting off hot. Yeah. So, but like going undrafted, I mean, you were expected to get drafted and then to like make it to where like the draft's over and teams are calling. What was the first couple minutes like?
Well, like honestly, the second day of the draft,
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson called me. He called me. I'm like, and he just was
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like a recruiting pitch.
Uh-huh.
Like, we like you. We want you to be over here. It's kind of like they almost got a plan. We gotta keep him. We gotta keep talking to him so he can sign with us later. You know.
Yeah.
So nobody gets him. So he called me second round. I was confused, and then right after the draft, Broncos called me, and they was like pressing me like to make a decision. Like, we want to sign you.
Right.
Boom, boom. So I'm like, I gotta call my agent. My agent was on the phone with the Browns
At the time. And this is day 2?
This is like 6th, 7th round.
Oh,
Because they started negotiating deals like 6th, 7th round.
Right. And at that point, once it's the 7th round, do you almost want to go undrafted at that point so you can pick where you get to go?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was on the phone with the Broncos. Then the Broncos called me back and was like, we signed somebody else. Take it too long. But Cleveland, I had took a visit to Cleveland already, so they was the most interested. Mm-hmm. So when I get there, then it was time.
It was time to roll?
It was time to roll.
I mean, you go into Cleveland, and at the time, was Baker there?
Yeah.
Baker was there, and OBJ was there.
No.
Maybe OBJ wasn't there yet? Mm-mm. Who was there?
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, it's Josh Gordon, that's
Jarvis,
right. Uh-huh.
Higgins. Who else we had?
They had some dudes.
Chubb was drafted that class.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we was all rookies together.
Damn.
Who else? Denzel Ward. Yeah.
But going from your first few moments of going from Fresno State football, trying to be the Mountain West champs, yada, 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 to, all right, I'm on the Cleveland Browns. Was there a sign of, man, I'm so happy that I made it to this point because that's what you've been dreaming of? Or was it like, nah, it ain't, this is just an opportunity and I got to go prove myself type shit?
It was an opportunity, and it was like, I feel like they don't think I'm good.
Yeah, because they didn't draft you, so you're disrespected.
They don't think I'm good.
You got to grind your way to the top.
I don't care what you said about the plans or none of that. You don't think I'm good. So that's the mindset I took on.
And you grinded your way through it.
Grinded my way through it.
Going from the Cleveland Browns and then having to get picked up by the Buffalo Bills, what was that transition like? Getting cut? Because I know you're not the type of dude to get cut in your life.
Yeah, so
how did
Saturday,
you
I was active. I was active on the active roster.
Right. You were playing.
We only had 6 active receivers. I was the 6th. And so a center got hurt or something like that. They called me in on a Saturday. This right before the plane.
Yeah, because you play on Sundays. Yeah,
this right before the plane finna leave. So they called me in and was like, don't move anything. Like, don't take nothing out your locker, but center got hurt. We got to find a center, so we're going to have to release you, but come back Monday to sign for the practice squad.
Yeah.
So it was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nutty ass phone call.
I never thought the business worked like this. Like,
nah.
I thought once you cut, you gone. Like, they're not finna explain it.
Right.
So my agent called me, was looking at the situations, and he asked them, like, am I gonna be active or, figure out like the long-term plan.
Right.
Like, do you see a future?
Yeah.
with him. And then, you know, they said yeah and all that stuff, but Buffalo had a better offer for me. So then we had to just take that.
So it was, I mean, because sometimes in sports, and like, I preach it on the pod all the time, like, sports are business. I don't care if it's in high school. I don't care if it's in college. I don't care what level of any sport. Pretty much once you get, hell, U8 soccer down the street, there's some business moves being made out there. Like, it's a business. Money talks. And at the same time, it's like,
that's why they come in on a Saturday.
That's why you cut you on a Saturday. But to have that opportunity to where you know the dudes in the locker room with Cleveland, you know the offense, like you started off on the P squad undrafted, and now you're on the active roster. Like, you clearly have built your way up, but Buffalo made you a better deal. You get to Buffalo, was it open arms, or like how'd that go?
So I got there Monday.
Hold up, you got cut on Saturday from the Browns, and you were in Buffalo on Monday?
So I took everything from Cleveland. Like, I had an apartment in Cleveland. Took all my clothes.
Yeah.
Got on the road and drove to Buffalo, because Buffalo was like 2 hours.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Like 2 or 3 hours.
I'm challenged when it comes to like how far shit is.
I drove, left everything, physical, MRIs, you know, the whole stuff, making sure you're healthy.
Right.
And I'm on practice squad from first day of practice was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday, and then Friday I was active.
Oh shit! So you went from you got there to P squad to you active real quick.
On Friday, yeah.
Damn. Who did you guys play that week?
It was the Jets, but I wasn't suiting up. But they called me in.
You on the sideline though?
Yeah, they called me in like
yeah.
we will be promoted. Like, and then next week I played. That was my first real action.
Of like the league?
Yeah, that was my first real
Damn.
action. Yeah.
And how was it? That first, because I know you played preseason, you had some love. Shit, I'm the young bull in the room. Like, I remember preseason and fall camp eating some nasty ass macaroni for the 10th day in a row, and you were playing preseason, and the wideouts were getting hyped up because you was going off.
Yeah.
And we can get into special teams, but like,
yeah, that's what they have.
Hey, you gotta find what separates you from the pack. And I think too many dudes, we got friends that are in the league or trying to go to the league, and like, you have to be as much of a Swiss Army knife you could possibly be. You need to be willing to do whatever you can for the team. And like, if you're a wideout who could play wideout, play wildcat, play running back, play all positions at wideout, and hell, if enough safeties went down, shit, you might be a little competitive, and you could be a gunner, and you could kick off, all this shit. Well, they're gonna want to sign you over and do that just runs routes. And you understood that early on, it seems like, at least for my career.
I just realized, like, I know my reps will be minimum. It's a lot of people, so your reps are minimum. So I know if I could just put the best 3 reps on tape every day, then I eventually. It's kind of hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's just like, how will I be seen if I go in there 3 reps all practice,
right?
And we run plays.
Well, that happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back here, catch punts. I'm gonna catch kicks. You
be a gunner.
I'm gonna somebody get an interception.
Block a kick.
I'm gonna run.
Tag them off.
Strip the ball.
Yeah.
You know, just stuff like that. The extra little stuff that I.
And you know what? It's not extra because, again, it's separating yourself from the pack.
Yeah.
It's separating yourself from the pack because, like, the higher you get up the food chain on athletics, like, you could be in high school, if you score 10 touchdowns and you have 1,000 yards receiving, like, okay, that's pretty good. Like, that's your stamp on your thing. But when you get in the position of life where you have, you know, I sound like Eminem right now, but like, you got one shot, one opportunity to get everything you ever wanted at one moment, you gotta strike while the iron's hot, man.
Crazy.
You gotta go crazy. And if you have the passion in your body and you're willing to do anything it takes to be successful, then it's not like you've been preparing for that moment your entire life. You had to stay ready so you didn't have to get ready. And I think that's why you had success in the NFL, because some dudes, they get to the league and they realize, oh shit, I better learn how to become a special teams player. I better learn how to tackle. I better learn how to do this. But like, if you've been going hard your entire life, which I know you have, Disco, like, then you're there, baby. You're at the shits.
Yeah, man. It was tough. It's just, you know,
yeah.
It's a business.
Hell yeah, it is.
So you can have a guy on P Squad right now on the team. He's probably going crazy, but he can never play because somebody else is getting paid. And they have to play him.
They have to. or else it looks stupid in the offices and shit.
Yeah.
I know it's a business,
It's
and
real business,
and hey, believe it, it's the same in high school. It's the same in college. Like there is politics to the game, which sucks. But you know what? Sometimes like if you, and I believe this, and I tell my brothers this, and I tell all this, like if you do the right thing all the time, and if you could truly leave a practice or go to sleep at night knowing I went to practice, I grinded, I went and I got extra work in, I ate correctly, I'm making good decisions and being a good person, bro, that's God. That's just good. He's gonna take care of you at the end of the day. I believe that.
Sure.
Sco, you know, like throughout your time in the league though, like I know you bounced to the Giants after that, and you had to have had some mentors. You had to have had some guys that you played with that had a good influence on you. Who's some dudes that stick out when I ask that question? Like, hey, this dude really took me under my wing.
Far as like playing?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
being a professional, playing.
I used to sit next to Jarvis in Cleveland, so
Jarvis Landry. Yeah.
I like how he play as a player. Like he's like a real smart football player. Far as he just does stuff without you having to do it. Like say, only football players know this, but say you have a basic and a shallow.
Yes.
And he has the basic.
Right.
He's gonna automatically pick.
He knows
to pick that dude that's who has the shallow to run his route. Like he doesn't run routes for like himself.
He understands the concept.
He understands the concepts and stuff like that to like a deeper level.
That's some Patriots offense type shit. Because the reason a dude like Julian Edelman is so successful is because they get the concepts type shit. Yeah.
He understands stuff like that.
So Jarvis helps you out with the playing side, yeah.
Just done, like not even just him talking to me, just watching. I could just watch you.
Yeah.
I'm a visual, you know. I could just watch you and then like, oh, I like that. Like, you know.
Hey, mental reps are huge at this stage. At any level, mental reps are huge. But you don't really lock into it until you're, like you said earlier, your reps are limited. And you're like, shit, I got 3 reps. I better capitalize on that shit. If that worked for Jarvis, it might work for me.
Yeah, it's just little things.
Who helped you out as a young dude in the league, as a professional type? I know you had some leaders in the locker room over times.
It was a guy named Marcus Golden.
Marcus Golden,
DN. I think he played for he was on the Cardinals. I don't know if he's still there, but MG used to help me.
Yeah. You still talk to any of these dudes?
Sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
tap in
every now and then, but not really.
I mean,
a little bit.
So after this,
guy's busy.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hey, everyone's they gotta feed their family somehow. You trying to do the same right now. Yeah. I mean, in your long athletic career, and in all the struggles you've had in your life, and like everything that you've gone through, like we all go through things that we have days we don't want to wake up. We have days where we have practice that day and it's hard. We want to stay in bed. Shit, it doesn't sound like having a good run. But like you're one of the dudes in my life that I would put money on. Your ass is going to get out of bed and you're going to go get the work in. What drives you to do that? What do you always reflect back on to say, hey, I need to be great today?
My mom.
Uh-huh.
You know, she used to get up every day.
Yeah.
To provide for me and my family. So and then it's just something in me. I don't know. It's just
that inner dog.
It's just that inner dog. Like I used to make seem like people think like I'm not good.
Right.
You know, I used to be. You could think I'm good.
Yeah.
But I might tell myself like, Frank thinks I suck.
Yeah.
You feel me? I could like tell that to myself and like boost myself up. Mm-hmm. You know.
That's juice.
Juice. Yeah.
I
could bring the juice. I could definitely bring the juice.
I mean, having such an internal motivation like that, like it takes you a long ways, and to see you grow into a guy who went to moved to California at such a young age, and you had your struggles in high school, then in college it started off hot. You had a struggle your senior year, you came back in, and you made a major comeback to the point where shit, you got to play in the league for multiple years. Like clearly it's progressed into you being a successful man, and it's driving into bigger things. But like one thing I want to finish with about the athletic side of things before we hop into the business side of things is when COVID hit, you were with the New York Giants. And I know everyone had this opportunity to like they could either play, dudes were opting out, doing all this shit. Like, what made you decide on your decision? Like, what were the determining factors that you're?
Well, it wasn't even really my decision.
Okay.
I had some personal things I was dealing with.
Yeah.
With my family.
Yes.
And to be honest, it wasn't my decision. Like, it was basically forced upon me.
Yeah. You had to handle some business.
I had to handle some business, but, you know, not trying to talk much into it, but, you know, God,
so you had to handle some shit, and it was time.
It was that, and you know, guys know.
Yeah.
You know, people know who they are and what happened. Like the situation, this organization knows what happens.
Right.
What happened. So that's that.
Yeah, that's that. That's that. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, since then, I think one thing that I love about your story, Sco, is that, and it's kind of you're at the point in your life where I think I was when I started the pod, in the sense of like, as soon as you get, I don't want to say get done playing, because if the New York Giants called you tomorrow, would you go?
Yeah, I'm open.
That's what I'm saying.
Look.
Yeah.
Nobody behind me.
No, you open.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
that.
open.
But I'm saying, in the meantime, because you have that mindset, that drive, where it's like you're so relentless. And again, this is literally one of the reasons I started the pod, because I was trying to figure this out as a young man who just, all I want to do is eat. I just want to be successful. I want to be in the top 0.1% of all people in life. And how am I supposed to do that when I'm 24 years old and I just finished playing college football? Like, where am I supposed to start? I don't know shit about the real world. I know about what it takes to play on ESPN. Yeah. I know what it takes to be, you know, a good Fresno State football player and try to be a good athlete. But when you have all this energy and you're a grinder and you're trying to do what it takes to be successful in your sport, and you're not playing in that sport right now, well, now you got all this energy. You got this internal juice, and you're like, okay, what's the next big thing? And you realize, I need to make some bread. I need to start learning what it's going to take for me to be successful, because someday I'm going to have a family. Someday I want to buy a house. Someday I want to be kicking ass at life. I want to be able to go out to dinner and order that nice steak. I want to be doing all these things, and I got to figure out what the next step is. And for me, I was so hungry to be successful, and I wanted to talk to other athletes that wanted to be successful in life in whatever field it was at the time, whether it be the league or be starting a business or starting a restaurant or whatever it is. And I want to hear about what they're doing with that iron sharpens iron approach, because ultimately, if you're kicking ass and we're friends and we chop it up, and I'm kicking ass and we're friends and we chop it up, well, shit, that's how beautiful things get started.
Yeah.
So once football ended and you're like, hey, I need to start making bread, what'd you turn to first?
So I already had investments and stuff, and that I wasn't recklessly spending.
Yeah,
I was buying stuff.
Humble.
I bought stuff.
Humble.
I bought stuff. Don't get me wrong. I bought stuff. You know, but
shit, you're always fitted.
Come on, man.
You got to stay nice. Yeah. What kind of jacket is that, by the way?
I can't tell you. It's
Is that like
exclusive?
Is Louis?
Exclusive. It's like, no, this is just Zara. This is Zara. Zara will fool you.
Yeah.
You know. Go shop at Zara.
Hey, was Kanye West wearing that a couple days ago?
Nah, Kanye don't wear it.
Kanye don't like that shit.
Kanye probably a Fashion Nova guy.
Yeah. All right. It's casual.
But
yeah. So all right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I just I got into credit.
You learned about credit.
Yeah,
credit scores.
I got into credit scores, because you know, from where I'm from, we passed down poverty. Mm-hmm. So I started learning about credit, and you know, got my credit up, and then I just kept learning about stuff, and then I tapped into the ATM machines. First I got into the vending machines. I was thinking about the vending machine. I was like, I need something that's passive that I gotta be there for, because I'm still gonna play football.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me find a business, because you know it's different. Like, a lot of guys are just relying on their salary, like football salary. You can't. Like, no. I just seen it. I got cut 3 times. You know.
Yeah. It's a good passenger. Yeah. And you got a good head start on life to be able to invest in shit to propel you.
Yeah. So
but
I just had to get smart. I'm like, let me invest in some other vehicles to where I could play football freely without having to worry about them cutting me. Because it's like it's only pressure on your shoulders. Like, if I drop a ball, I might get cut.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna work.
Right.
Where I'm gonna get some money from.
Right.
And then it's like, it's free. You know, you play your best when you're free.
Hey, when you're loose, that's when you can really roll.
You can really get a G.
When you're tight and shit, it's
And,
different. It makes it less fun too. Yeah.
I didn't have a team.
Right.
Like if I had a team to put everything together, then it would be a different story. It would already be together. So I really had to build it myself. Now I have a team.
You have a team now.
I have a team now.
So you went. What interested you? So the ATM, you knew the vending machines would be passive income.
I knew vending machines.
You said, nah, with the vendings.
Yeah.
There's better money in the ATMs.
In the ATMs.
So I want to get a little more into this because you just came out with a book about ATMs. Yeah. It's the first of a series.
It's a startup.
It's a startup.
To let you know, like get the LLC.
Get your foot in the door, all that.
Get your bank account and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because you've done this already. So you said, hey, I'm gonna write a book about it. How many copies you sold?
I don't know. It's ebook. It's electronic. It's
couple thousand. Something slight.
Something slight.
But why ATMs? Tell me. The audience is intrigued.
It's passive. Like,
yeah. So if I said,
it's kind of like real estate. It's kind of like real estate, but it's a better ROI. You know what I'm saying? So a machine is probably like $2,500, and
it's more reasonable too. Like if I don't have enough bread to buy a house, but I have enough bread to buy 3 vending. Let's say I said, Scope, I have $15,000 saved up. I want to get in the ATM business. What can you do for me on that?
I can get you. Do you want to be hands-on?
No, I want it to be passive. I want to give you a $15,000 check. I want to continue to work. I want to continue to take my girlfriend out on dates. I want to continue to work out. I want to continue to Bring the Juice podcast. I have $15,000. I'm going to give it to Damari Scott, NFL great, and I'm going to fucking let you roll with it. What's my ROI? What's the process?
Okay, so we probably could get about four machines. We got to find the locations for you. But we're going to set up...
You do that for me, though. Yeah. I don't got to worry about it.
You don't got to worry about that. You don't even have to buy the machine no more because you just gave us the money to buy it. So you'll probably get around $450 to $500 a month.
Yeah.
Minimum.
What's maximum? What's like...
What's maximum?
Peak
say you
performance.
have 4 or 5 machines. The average machine does like $250 to $300.
$250 to $300 a transaction? A month.
So each machine would be $250 to $300 a month. So you do 300 times 5, that's $1,500.
So I could pay off my house with this investment. Is what you're getting at?
Yes.
And it'll take.
So if you go that route, $1,500, you almost have your money back. It should be the year in 1 year. And all my contracts are 5 years. So I lock the location in for 5 years and it renews.
How many ATMs do you personally own right now?
Like 10.
I love that.
It's a little.
I love that.
It's a little. You know, it's growing every day though. Like I gotta install March 1st.
Is it only local, like Fresno area?
No.
You all over the
national.
You want international?
Not international.
Not yet.
We're not bigger team.
So you got the ATMs rolling. The book is the intro to it. You recommend. What's the name of the book?
You could go to myatmbook.com.
Wait, hold up. Redo that again. I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You could go to myatmbook.com right now.
That is myatmbook.com. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. I'm gonna subscribe.
And if you got bad credit, I got another book for you. Go to www.boostcreditbook.com. Get you a free credit book.
You had all kinds of books.
Yeah, man.
You're educated.
Legendary.
See, I want to write a book. I don't know what I would write a book about.
You could write a book on how to bring the juice.
I want to ask my listeners.
Motivational morning. Get your piss high.
Get your piss high. Let's go, baby. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, I had this little side business I wanted to start. I've had about 20 moms, dads, and kids message me in the last 2 weeks saying, I love Bring the Juice, blah, blah, blah. Here's my highlight tape. Do you think I could play college football? And I'm like, bro, I'm not a college scout. Like, I don't work for Fresno State. I don't work for Nevada. I don't work for Boise. Like, I don't work for any schools. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're looking for. But I realized throughout my career and throughout my brother Mac, who now plays at Fresno State, and I have a younger brother, Joe, who plays in high school where we both played at, I realized that, like, some dudes are very highly recruited. Like some dudes are just cold and like they're 6'3" wideouts that run a 4.4 and they score touchdowns. And like no shit, Nick Saban wants him. But other dudes, it's like, yo, this dude's pretty gritty. This dude's pretty cold, but he didn't go to that camp because he's playing basketball and baseball. So he didn't get exposed at the Nook or the Rivals or whatever the hell it is. And I was kind of in that boat where I didn't go to a lot of camps growing up, but like I played 4 sports in high school. Like I couldn't go to, I went to like 4 camps my senior year. I went to the Fresno, and I had a broken hand. For the Fresno State camp, I went to the Cal Poly camp, I went to the UC Davis camp, and I went to the Montana State camp. And they all liked me and they loved me and they were offering all this good shit. And I emailed them probably 200 times and they probably responded 3 times. But guess what? The first 2 times was we're not looking for you. And the third time was we like what you did at our camp. We're going to offer you a walk-on spot. Yeah. And look, Sco, I want people to know this. I was behind Disco for my first like two or 3 years. Like H-Town get down, baby. Like you know what it is. But just know, yeah, we had the wiggle. But just know that I got to be behind a grinder for a period of my time. But at the same time, like I was respected in college because like I would grind. Like
yeah, you were grinding.
I'd grind and like Disco and me. I'll never forget this. Actually, I'm gonna tell a sidebar story. Right? Huh?
You talking about the stadium?
I was talking about this Tommy Stallworth.
Man, you got me at the stadium. I ain't gonna lie.
The stadium.
Yeah,
all right, we were at the stadium on 4th of July. I beat Sco, but that ain't shit because Sco made it to the league and I didn't. But I was talking about the day when Tommy Stallworth came and we had fast 300s. Yeah. Thomas Stallworth is now the strength and conditioning coach for the Atlanta Falcons.
Thomas Stallworth was the strength coach for the Giants.
At the time, yes. Crazy. Long story short, I don't want to get too off topic here, but we had to run like, it's called a 300-yard shuttle. It's 25 yards, they're back, up to 300 yards. You had like 49 seconds. Oh, yeah. Me and Damari Scott were the only ones who could do it within the time. Yeah. But you had to turn right the entire time. Yeah. And some dude turned left. And we both finished, and we were on opposite ends of the field. And I looked over, and he kind of looked over a little bit. And they said, re-ride, like run it back. And I was like, I can't do that again.
It's over with.
Over with, bro.
Yeah, I think that's the only time I didn't make a time.
In my life, I pushed board one day in my life, and that was the only time I never made a time. And I swear to God, that was impossible, damn near.
Legs was dead.
Long story short, Disco's a grinder. He had his ATM machine. We'll check out his books. But Sco, there's more businesses within your realm. Like you got the rental car. We're talking about a Ford Fusion. Yeah. What's up with that? So you invested in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, some slight.
You want to give a play?
Yeah.
Well, so you can invest in a car, economy car, little Ford Fusion for like $10K or something like that. Rent it out on Hire Car. Hire Car is an app that's used for Door Dashers, Uber drivers, for those to make their deliveries and drop people off and stuff like that.
Right, but they don't own the whip.
Yeah, they don't own the whip. You don't know why they can. We don't know why they can't get a car, but that's what happens. And you can charge them between $20 to $50 a day.
Yeah.
And the minimum amount, like the average rental. Yeah, is a month. Like somebody has your car for at least a month. Damn. But I got a lady that have it for the year.
So a lady rented it. You bought a Ford Fusion. Yeah. And a lady rented it out for the year, and you make about $40 a day off it.
Yeah, $40 a day.
So she's gonna pay off that car. That's an investment. Now that car, it's gonna depreciate a little bit because cars do with time. Yeah. But you're gonna be profiting off this in the long run.
Yeah, she pays for the Tesla too.
The Tesla so Damari Scott also pulled up in a Tesla to my whip. Oh, because it's a monthly payment.
It's a monthly payment. So, but I had a Benz too. I started off with a Benz on Turo, and then I was renting that out.
How many cars you got?
Right now?
Yeah.
I only got 3.
Only 3. What's the most you've had at one time?
Yeah, that's it. That's the most.
You most had 3?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So you have that rental car rolling. We talk about the B&Bs.
Because, we talked to Strat. Remember we sat down with Strat?
Yeah, we had a little drinks a couple weeks ago.
I was all over the place, so I had to lock in on the ATM. So I haven't really locked in all the way to that. I just ran that play. Like to the cars, I didn't lock in on that play yet.
Is it something you think you'll...
Oh, for sure.
Wildfire?
Yeah.
Is Fresno a good spot for it?
Fresno, okay. Yeah, for economy cars, for sure. But you can go to San Diego.
Yeah.
I'm from San Diego.
Higher end,
San Diego, yeah.
charge a little more.
Charge a little more.
Still California type
Still
vibes.
California, because they get more money in those places as far as Uber and DoorDash.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And then
it's by your demographic at that point.
it's the demographic.
So, how did you get into the B&Bs?
I got I took courses like.
You invested in yourself.
I invested in myself. Yeah, so I took courses, and then I took a couple, like 2 or 3 of them, and then just learned what to say as far as B&B. Like you never say B&B. Be more corporately, it's like instead of me doing it personally, and then they don't allow it, and then
so you're the middleman within a middleman almost.
Middleman within a middleman. A lot of people do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it.
Does it take any licensing to do that, or do you just roll that?
As long as you got your LLC set up the right way, and the website credible, you'll be good.
Who
number.
Who mentored you to learn all this?
YouTube University.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then paying for information. YouTube University, paying for information.
I've learned some great things from some mentors.
Like I'm looking for a mentor right now. So if
like a real mentor.
Yeah, a real mentor. If you're watching this, I'm looking for you.
What's your if you had to do an elevator pitch, hey, this is what I want in a mentor. What would you say? This is what I want in a mentor.
Someone who makes millions of dollars every month, that's dedicated, that wakes up with a focus and still goes to get it even though he's rich.
Yeah.
And wealthy and has generational wealth and stuff like that.
Well, as soon as you're content with anything in life, that's when you get caught by the dude behind you. Like you have to stay hungry because, I've seen it and I've learned, like, if you're content with anything in life, like, you're kidding yourself because shit, we live in California where it's expensive as hell. We're in America where, like, I love America, but at the same time, like, if I make $1,000, if I get $1,000 paycheck, I don't get to keep that $1,000 paycheck. I get about like 600 of that $1,000 paycheck right now. Yeah. So you gotta find multiple ways to make money at this point. If you want to be at that next level in life. And I don't know, are you a reader? Do you read?
Yeah, I read.
So you must have read Rich Dad Poor Dad at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know about, because when you said passive income, I was like, okay. Because, like, there's the ultimate income that you need is, like, you need the residual and you need the passive at this point.
I feel like the business route is the best way.
Yeah.
Because as far as taxes, too, you can just write checks to yourself. Like, you know what I mean?
I saw a great, sometimes
and write that off, you know?
It's a ripple effect.
For somebody, like, I just can't get the fact of working for somebody. Unless it's Roger Goodell.
Get out of here. That's the league shit. But I saw something today that was, I don't know why, I sent it to a few of my buddies that always send me shit, where it's like, you could build your way up in life, in business, where you're rolling and to the point where you make enough money to buy something you want. Okay? Yeah. You can make, if you want a Tesla, if your goal is, I want to buy a Tesla, you can make $70,000 at the bank account, and it might cost you $60,000, and you have to get to the point where I could buy that Tesla. But the biggest mistake people make is there's a sideways approach. There's a sideways step where you could make that, you could have $80,000, $70,000 in your bank account, and instead of buying that Tesla, you invest in something like the ATM machines, like a rental car, like an Airbnb, whatever the hell it is that works out for your situation, to where you invest so much in that and it makes money for you. Yeah. It continually generates revenue, and you buy that Tesla with that investment. And it's continual. And after you bought that Tesla, not payment wise, you bought that shit cash, it continually brings money in. And that's the people get greedy, and they're like, hey, that's what it is.
And that's just ATM money. It's Bitcoin on there, and then
you like that crypto, right?
Yeah, it's Bitcoin on there.
Are you only Bitcoin on crypto?
No, I got,
because I'm deep in Doge. I'm deep in Doge.
Doge, CRO, Shiba, all those. But I'm saying there's Bitcoin. You can have Bitcoin transactions on the machines, on the ATM machines, that you get paid from. So it's 2% of transaction. And then I have advertisement on top. So
How much do you charge for an advertisement?
I had to lower my prices.
You were a little greedy?
Yeah, I was a little greedy. But it was $350 a month.
$350 a month. And okay, so like let's say out of your 10 machines right now, where give me a couple of locations of where they are. Are they airports? Are they barbershops?
I got like 4 barbershops, San Diego, a bar,
Yeah.
Oakland, a bar.
Yeah.
Just got a grocery store, got a beauty bar. I'm missing some. There's 5 barbershops actually, I think.
So it's widespread and it's a lot of.
So that's when I had to really get a team because it was confusing.
It's different industries too. Yeah. It's not just I'm in barbershops.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Laundromats,
Yeah.
Casinos,
Right.
whatever.
I mean, I'm thinking about. I want to get into. I'm interested because like I said, I think there's a lot of people listening to this podcast where they don't have $100,000 saved up to make an investment for a rental property right now. But I think there is people that say, hey, you know what? I got about 10, 15 grand that I'd be willing to roll the dice on. And if I could get a return on my investment after a year and a half, 2 years, well,
3
shit,
years max.
an extra $500, an extra $1,000 a month, that sounds pretty good to me. That sounds damn good to me. That pays for my groceries. That pays for some bills. That pays for a lot of things. That pays for my wife to go get her nails done and shit. So over time, I think you're on something good. And guess what, too? One thing I've learned in my experience outside of sports is the more people want to deal with athletes because they know they've gone through X amount to be successful at that point. Like they know if you played college football, you can't bullshit your way through college football. Yeah. You know how to show up somewhere on time. You know how to be diligent with your notes. And ultimately, you know how to help a team win if you've been successful whatsoever. And that means you've been through the shits. Because there's some dudes we played ball with, high school, college, pro, I'm sure, where they've bullshitted their way up to a point.
Yeah.
And guess what? The chickens come, they come, whatever, what's the term? Chickens come like crocking home or some bullshit. I don't know. But shit hits the fan eventually. Yeah. And you can't bullshit a bullshitter. So I think what you got going, Sco, is amazing. I mean,
it's a lot of revenue streams. I got courses coming.
You got a website yet?
Yeah, we got a website, www.atmcashpoint.com.
Yeah.
Where that's for more for a business owner. Looking to get their ATM in our ATMs in their spot.
In their spot, yeah.
But I have location acquisition, so basically I'll just find locations for you.
Yeah.
My team will find locations for you. Just charge you for the location, and then you handle everything else. But it's a lot of stuff.
I love that, and you know what? I want to make sure that people know. I'm actually Bring the Juice has a website that's going to be dropping pretty soon, and we're going to be selling the hats on there, selling the merch, all that good shit. And you're going to be able to listen to the episodes right on the website itself. But one thing that we're doing is every podcast episode, whoever's the guest, because everyone I have on, they're hustling in life. They're kicking ass. So they got a brand, they got a nonprofit organization, they got business opportunities. So in about 2 weeks when this episode airs, this is, we're in mid-February, I got a wedding to go to this weekend, but you're going to be able to go onto our website and look at Damari Scott and listen to our episode, see what Damari Scott's done. He played football at Fresno State. He went to the Cleveland Browns. He was on Buffalo. He went to the New York Giants. Whoop. He's got 7 businesses. He wrote a book. And you're going to be able to click on a link and go straight to your shit. Because
Cashpoint ATM.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Is that what it's called?
At Cashpoint ATM.
We have to follow them. We're going to shout them out a lot. We need it. Iron sharpens iron. And you know what? That bring the juice mentality is what we need on this show. And I love that. That's why I had you on the show. Yeah. And you know what, Sco? I got to give a real quick shout out to Valley Wide Beverage. Valley Wide Beverage is one of our exclusive sponsors, them and Topo Chico. Topo Chico, their expiration just came up. We now have Valley Wide Beverage. They give us all of our booze. They give us our Gatorades. They give us our hydrations, our muscle milk. It's how we look so good. It's how we have such great podcasts. Shout out to Valley Wide Beverage. We appreciate them. So I want to ask you one last question. You're kicking ass in life, and that's why you're on the show. Do you have any advice for the viewers as if you were a young athlete right now? I want to focus on the young athletes because young athletes are hitting me up left and right. How can I play D1? And I tell them my story on what I did, and I think there's tactics. And I want to launch a course. I want to have a class on how, hey, I'm an undersized wide receiver. This is how I was gritty enough and much of a grinder to play at the next level. Here's what you should do to get seen by coaches. But if you were a high school athlete right now who played wideout and you're slept on, what would you do to grind your way to the top?
You ain't got nothing else to do. But
you got any drills? What you say? Ball security?
You need to get some releases in. You need to get some over-the-shoulder catches.
Yes.
Get that down. You need to attack the ball. You need to get out his break, work on his breaks.
You got to do all that. And that's one thing I want to make clear to the audience too.
He got to make sure his car got good brakes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you can't I want people to know you can't just be gritty and a grinder and expect to play collegiate ball. You have to be able to ball.
And know every position.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at here. You need to be an asset. If you're on a highlight tape and you're just an outside wide receiver who catches a go ball in a slant, that's great to an extent. But guess what? When your highlight tape goes from you catching inside, outside, across the middle where you get banged and pop right up, you're scoring a touchdown in the back of the end zone, you're running a reverse, you're returning a kick, and then you're playing defense.
Yeah.
That's how you get recognized versus, I'm just this hardcore receiver. You want to be as much of an asset to any team you get on possible. And I tell people this, and Sko, you don't need to know this because you're already making money moves, wheeling and dealing. But I tell people this all the time. There's dudes we graduated from at Fresno State where they're not hustling. They're not wheeling and dealing. They're not stressing about feeding their future families, which I hope, whatever, that's them. But I tell them this. If you walk into a business and you say, hello, sir, my name is so-and-so. I played football at Fresno State. I will show up to my job every single day on time. I will keep diligent notes. I will make sure whatever my assignment is, I am assignment perfect because that's what we're bred to do. And you say, ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm going to help your team win, which when you're a business, that means I'm going to help your team make money. Why would you not hire a guy like that? The answer, you're going to hire that motherfucker.
I'm hiring.
You're hiring.
I am hiring.
I don't care if you're
looking for a job. I'm hiring.
I don't care if the business isn't hiring. You're now hiring that guy.
Yeah.
You can't. That is a unhirable pitch right there. You can't not do that. And every single dude that, I don't care. This is Fresno State. I got viewers in Florida. I got viewers in Maine. I got viewers in Texas. I don't care what corner of the United States. I got viewers in Ireland. I had to ship a hat to Ireland again this last week. We're international, Sko.
That's legendary.
That's what I'm talking about. So that get your piss hot, bring the juice mentality is worldwide. And it applies not only in sports, if you're a high school athlete, a sixth grader, a collegiate athlete, a league player, but it applies in business. And if you want to be successful, you better wake up, get your shit together. You better bring the juice and you better get your piss hot because it's time to roll, baby.
And one thing I would say is in business, you have to have a team. You said you have a team around. You can't do it by yourself. I had to realize that.
The people you surround yourself with in this life, behind the scenes and on the scenes, is absolutely critical. Sko, I'm going to wrap it up here. You got anything else you want to say to Bring the Juice Nation? Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Follow CashPoint ATM. You can get the ebook on how to start an ATM business right now at www.myatmbook.com. Use coupon code Bring the Juice.
Ooh.
You could get 15% off.
Ooh. Shit, I love when money moves are made. Goddamn, I love it. Y'all, make sure to tune in, Disco. We're gonna tag him and all that. We're gonna tag all his businesses, all his business ventures, work with him, work for him, do all that. All in all, another great episode of the Bring the Juice podcast. We're going to make sure we get you guys a tutorial of the new studio. Disco is bringing a jersey. We got some other guests that are bringing jerseys. We got that hot shit. I love it. Fire me up. And guess what, y'all? Appreciate you. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, follow the Insta, follow Disco's Instagrams. And this week, let's bring the juice, baby.
Get your piss out.
Woo-hoo. All right, see y'all.